Hey, welcome to this video. In this one, we're going to be learning what responsive web design is and how to do it using something called a media query. So what we'd like to do is that when the screen adjusts to different sizes, okay, I'm just going to drag this as an example, but what we're trying to do is get it so when it looks on tablet, it looks like something, and when it's a mobile, it looks different, and when it's desktop, it all looks different, okay? And that's responsive, okay? It's responding to the screen size. So that's what we're going to do in this video. So let's jump into Dreamweaver. So in our last video, we just put in some real basic H1, okay, in the HTML, and then we styled it in our CSS. Now we need to look at responsiveness. So what we're going to do is we're going to do something called desktop first CSS. Now, a lot of people do mobile first, so they'll start styling their mobile screens first because it can be the hardest screen to design for because it's so small. And for what we're doing in this course, and I find what most people do start with, and what I start with, is that I start with my desktop design and then I scale it down for my mobile. So it's up to you whether you start designing your mobile first or desktop first. Just know though that it's sexy to go and do mobile first. People love doing mobile first. Me, I kind of rock the boat a little bit by doing desktop first. But don't worry, it makes no difference to your site and how it works on mobile or tablet. Okay, so what we're going to do is desktop first. It just means that this H1, okay, is going to be desktop. And just to make things a little easier, what we're going to say is we're going to put in a comment. Okay, the comments are this one here, and this guy here with a slash and then the asterisk, that's commenting in CSS. Okay, you can see one up there. And it just means anything that I put in here is just for people. It's ignored by the browser. So you can write anything in here just to help yourself. Say you finally crack something and you want to leave a note to yourself. You do it in these brackets here, or this little kind of like code snippet here. So what I want to do is this is going to be my desktop view. Okay, and next what I want to do is I'm going to copy and paste that down here. Now returns don't mean anything in code. Okay, this is going to be my tablet view. Okay, so what I want to do is we're going to learn how to switch this out using something called a media query. Now to write in a media query, it's the @ symbol, then you type media, okay, then you put in brackets, then you type in max width. Okay, so max width. Okay, now in terms of media queries, this is the one thing at the moment that Dreamweaver is not super helpful with. It's the only bit of stuff you're gonna have to write out pretty much all of the syntax for, okay, and this is as hard as it gets. Okay, so if you're following along, you can copy and paste with the exercise files. You can download those and play along and just copy and paste it out. Or like me, you can write it out. Okay, and we're going to pick our a tablet size now. Now, a max width just means we're trying to say what size, what size should this website change? What size is a tablet size? Now, the most common at the moment is 768 pixels. Now that will adjust over time, and some people use some slightly different ones, but that's the most common tablet size at the moment. And then I'm going to put in curly braces. And so that there is your media query. And it just means that anything inside of those two curly braces now is going to be triggered when the browser gets to a width of that. So let's do that. Let's do H1, okay, like we did up above. And what we're going to say is, don't forget your curly braces. So H1, curly brackets, return. And what we're going to do is we're going to force the color to change. So we're going to use color like we did above. I'll use the color picker. I'm going to pick green. Okay, don't forget the semicolon at the end. So what's going to happen now is that, let's just put some spacing in there to make it look a little nicer. Okay, it just means that desktop view, it's going to be this color. But then if the browser happens to be a width of this or less, okay, it is going to change it to the screen color. Let's go test it out. Let's hit save. Let's jump to our browser. Okay, here it is. So at desktop view, it's red, but when I get down to, hey, look at that. So at the width of 768, it's going to switch the color. And that, my friends, is how responsive web design is done. Not that hard, huh? Okay, people get a little freaked out by it, and it just means that at this size, do this other thing. And it can be, like in our case, we're going to stack our navigation slightly different. Okay, so we're going to stack these guys there instead of there. Okay, and with these boxes down the bottom here, instead of stacking them 2 by 2, 3 by 3 on desktop, it's going to be 2 by 2 on tablet. Nice. Let's go and do it for mobile as well. Okay, so because we're going to use all that stuff again, nice and easy. Okay, so let's go to mobile. mobile view, and the max width for mobile. This one's a bit of a, mobile phones keep changing. They keep releasing new models of iPhone, and so 400 seems to be a really good size. I find it's really useful. It kind of ties in some of the bigger phones, the phablety ones, and also kind of like real traditional. I think, how big are iPhones at the moment? I think they're 375 or something like that. So I make it just a little bit bigger to cover in some of the bigger LG, Samsung phones. Okay, so this is, yeah, do 400, it'll be fine. Okay, and what we want to do is we want to change the color. So I'm going to delete all this. If I type in semicolon, it should give me my little picker again. Great. And I'm going to I'll pick pink or magenta or purple, whatever this color is. Okay, remember then, semicolon, don't forget him. Save it. Let's jump out to our browser. Wrong browser. This one here. Okay, so red desktop. Are you ready? Tablet, green. Dun, dun, dun. Here we go. Pew. Mobile, it is a purpley mauvey color. I'll dispute that color. Okay, and that is responsive web design. Okay, so in here, my CSS, you can see the nice thing about it. My HTML is super clean and clear. Okay, there's very little on this page. There's just one new line that we added. Okay, but in our styles, okay, we've done, it looks quite complicated, but because you built it with me, right, we're like, actually, I know what that does. It's not actually that hard. Coding isn't as hard as it looks. Okay, so we've got an H1, that's my desktop view. And can you see what's happened here? This flow, okay, it's called a cascading style sheet or CSS. So it means that this thing here, say the font family, it flows down, and because the tablet doesn't argue with it and the mobile doesn't argue with it, it stays Gill Sans the whole way through, okay, whether it's mobile, tablet, or desktop. Okay, but color though, there's a bit of a fight going. So what happens is it's desktop unless this little media query gets triggered and do that. Okay, and then it will flow down to here, and this little media query goes, hey, I want to be, when I get down to mobile size, I want to be this green color as well. Oh, sorry, pinky, purpley, mauvey color. Okay, so that is a media query. What we need to do now though is switch out our particularly lame H1 and do it with our navigation, okay, where we have though that nav sandwich and things start working. So let's jump out and start doing that now.